All right. How's everybody doing? Welcome to episode number 57 of Free Markets Green Earth. I am, as always, Nicky P, here with my lovely co-host, Ben, the Liberty Hippie. How are you doing there, lovely Ben?
I'm feeling lovely. I'm feeling lovely.
So is that hairline.
I know. I've been wearing a hat all day, and I've been, I don't care. I don't care anymore. I've reached that age. I don't care. If I wasn't married and or my wife would allow it, I would probably shave my head at this point. But
I wouldn't
she's.
recommend it. Your head is not shaped for that.
I had it shaved once upon a time, and I have a fairly round head. There's not a lot of bumps and divots, so I got that going. But it is what it is.
You look very white supremacist with a shaved head.
Yes, I've been told that before. So I have to do something about that. I don't know what, but
I don't know. I guess you just gonna have to go join Antifa or something.
get a little. I don't know if you get a communist tattoo, a little hammer and sickle. Would that convince people that I'm not a racist?
I don't know, but I'd use your head for target practice. Roll that melon around there like, bing, bing.
Yeah.
Take that, China. So speaking of China, we have a fun little conversation we're going to have today about this amazing mystery that perplexed us for all of a weekend here in America.
Dun, dun, dun. Hey man, it was longer than a weekend. It's been, been going on for a while, I think.
I mean, I never saw a single thing about it prior to last week. I think the earliest article I found was like from 8 days ago. So, okay. And then most of them honestly were from like Friday. So apparently, okay. Why don't you describe what happened?
I have to check and see. I don't know. I'll check and see. I don't know, man. So apparently, people started getting seeds in the mail, seeds that they hadn't ordered, and I guess on the packaging is a dainty little label that said they were from China, and it scared people. So I don't know, man. I didn't get any of those seeds. Fortunately, unfortunately, I don't know. I have gotten some packages that I haven't ordered before. And I think that's what a lot of people were saying in the end, that's what this kind of became, was I guess they call it a brushing scam. And have you ever heard one of those?
I got the impression that it was a way to fix reviews online. So like you can't review something unless you order it. So you order something, and then
the merchants send it out, and they send out cheap, useless crap nobody wants, but then they have a verified sale, and then they can inflate their reviews or whatever, and hype their own stuff. So that was what I guess they kind of assume it was, but it took a minute for that to kind of sink through or people to figure out. So who knows? Maybe it wasn't. Maybe that wasn't it. Maybe that's just what they want us to think. Those filthy communists, Chinese communists. What do you want to call them? I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. The filthy communists makes them any different than anyone here in the States at this point.
No, it certainly does not. Certainly does not. Aside from a select few.
So, I guess it was the reaction to it that kind of really threw me for a loop.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's because it's one of those things, like, with all, I think if this had happened a year and a half ago, right, nobody really think twice about it. But with the Chinese virus, and now you got Chinese seeds, it's scary, man. It's scary. Who knows what's in that package, right? And they're gonna send all sorts of wild cannabis seeds, and who knows what other drugs they've been growing over there. They're going to try to get us to grow here.
I'm a little pissed. I haven't gotten any wild cannabis seeds.
I thought it was native to Asia. I mean, right? Isn't that where did it come from?
I mean, isn't opium native to Asia?
This is true as well.
Anyways, so long story short, people, the real fear is that a bunch of people started getting seeds in the mail that they didn't order. And as you can imagine, all hands on deck. Nobody open them. Nobody let them
Yeah.
anywhere near the ground. And I'm just in my head, like I have visions of the government being terrified that they're like a whole bunch of Audrey 2s from Little Shop of Horrors coming to life all over America and just eating us all.
I have not seen that. But it
You've never
sounds
seen
terrifying.
the Rick Moranis version of Little Shop of Horrors?
I don't know. I don't watch.
Feedlessimo?
No, maybe I don't know.
Look,
Nope.
it's got the best character that what's his name ever played. This is gonna kill me. He was
I don't
a
watch
dentist.
TV. I don't watch a lot of TV, so I don't know what's going on.
Ooh, Father of the Bride.
No, maybe. Not that white-haired guy.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
King Tut. Like I can tell you a million things he did, and now it's bothering me. It's like a world-renowned banjo player.
No, I'm thinking a different guy.
No, you're not. You're thinking of the right guy. You just didn't know he was a world-renowned banjo player with like a Grammy and stuff.
No, apparently not.
Yeah, that's what he did when he got older.
I tried to learn how to play the banjo once. It did not work out well.
I have a banjo.
I left mine in Korea.
Was it a Korean banjo?
It was not.
Steve Martin. God, I'm an idiot. Why the fuck could I not remember Steve?
He's a
Martin.
banjo player. He's a banjo player.
He is a world-renowned banjo player.
No joke, man. I had no clue. That's wild.
But it's my favorite role he's ever done. Mind you, he's done some good roles, but he plays a dentist who just gets off on causing people problems. He's like drinking. He's like taking the nitrous when he's doing work.
Nice.
Just trying to cause people pain. He's got like a whole musical number about, how like when he was a kid, they knew he did funny things like shooting puppies with BB guns and
Sounds funny.
What?
It sounds funny. Killing cats and shooting up.
Oh my god!
I don't know. I didn't know he was. I'm still like I'm reeling from him being a banjo player. It's just mind blowing.
It's pretty funny. It really is. Like if you were unaware of that, I'm sorry to spring that on you right now.
Yeah.
But the whole point of that movie is like, so Rick Moranis' character just picks up a plant and like starts feeding it, and eventually like he starts feeding, like if nothing's working, it won't stay alive. It's such an interesting looking plant. And then like he accidentally stamps cuts his finger, and like it starts licking its lips, and like if this fly trap. So then he starts feeding it his blood. Well, that eventually starts feeding it other people, and eventually like it's this giant creature who eventually sings this song because I'm a mean green mother from outer space and I'm bad. But like I imagine like that the government just assumed that it was just going to be those popping up all over America, swallowing us all whole. If this was all,
of course it is.
Legs were allowed to be planted.
I don't know. Like, yeah, that's to some degree. That's not necessarily a total misconception, right? That could be a possibility. Maybe not like man-eating plants, but like there's some issues there that could arise from it, right? Like when you think about GMO type plants, who knows what's been being cooked up in labs and in terms of like biowarfare. Half the reason the USDA is scared right now is probably because they're aware of the things that they've been working on. It's I don't know. I can see it going 100 different ways in terms of biowarfare type stuff.
I just imagine that there are better ways to do that than just randomly sending it to people in America.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like to some degree, but at the same time,
I'd be less surprised if it was the Russians. And I'm
well,
pretty positive some because why would they like stamp it back to China if it was China who did
okay.
it?
So right,
Why leave the paper trail?
Like, and it may not be China, right? It may be Russia. Who knows? I don't know. But like
if I were them and you were trying to do it sneaky, why don't you just start like instead of putting silica gel in your silica gel packets you put over here, just throw some seeds. So all those end up there.
it's the same, I guess. I mean, you could send it in other things, but it's the same like idea, right? If you send these things, and I think it's when you send a packet of seeds to someone, especially like I was reading one article, and maybe I was talking to someone about it, and like they had actually, bought seeds on Amazon, and so when this package showed up, they actually thought like this was what they ordered, and it was just very poor shipment, and it wasn't necessarily what they ordered, and they thought it got mixed up, but that's what it was. And um I mean, like, when you think about like what we do, what Monsanto does with their seeds, and you think about like the chemical resistance that they have to stuff, um or like plants that have built-in herbicide, right, or pesticide, right? Like you could potentially have someone designing a seed somewhere that's creating something that is otherwise, poisonous, right? Something that would be edible that is now poisonous. And maybe you're not going to eat it, but maybe you decide to give it to your cows, and now your cows die, right? And maybe it's invasive at the same time, and now maybe it starts spreading, and then you're kind of out of luck, I don't know. I just, I
All
have
right.
fun thinking about those things.
So a couple things here. Number one, we've talked about invasive species before. Maybe we need to do a little bit more fleshing out of that in this episode. Also, the property rights and who gets to tell you what the fuck you do is also going to be a big factor in here.
Yeah.
So I guess here's my position. Yeah, a smart person should probably not just go willy-nilly planting shit. Like, that just seems like a stupid idea
Mm-hmm.
in and of itself. I don't know why, if you respected your own property, you would do that. I guess is the first thing I would think. But
Yeah,
so
you'd think that.
basically, what happens? You have a bunch of people step in and say, "You're not allowed. Just don't plant them or do anything.
Don't plant
If
them,
you get
right?
them, send them to us. We need to research this."
Burn them. Burn them.
Which, yeah, why? Who cares? Who gives a shit? They're seeds. Fucking burn. If you're gonna do anything. We recommended action burning.
Well, and think about that, right? Like, you have these seeds that are potentially whatever, who knows? And so rather than just destroy them and get rid of them, we're gonna send them back through the mail. We're gonna, send them around someplace else and hope that nothing falls out of the packages en route. Let's just spread it around some more.
So ultimately, what did we end up finding out today?
Well, I mean, according to the USDA and other places that tested them, the seeds themselves are fairly innocuous, right? It's mostly herbs, flowers, morning glory, mint, sage, cabbage.
According
You know,
to according to this Alabama article, I think it is,
yeah,
they actually gave a breakdown of like the percentages of the seeds that were
yeah.
vegetables.
50% of the samples identified as flower, 41 vegetable, and 9% herbs. But I mean, and that's just in Alabama. I'd seen someplace else, mustard and morning glory. Maybe that was in Florida.
I mean, those all fall under herbs, don't they?
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I wonder. Morning glory would be flower. Yeah. So the breakdown was a little bit more specific in some places, but yeah. So I don't know, man. Like, just
All right.
because you can classify a seed doesn't necessarily mean you know what's in said seed, right? Like, you can't look at a soybean and say, "Yep, this is Monsanto soybean here." Right? This is
You're absolutely right, man. So no one should ever buy seeds ever again.
Yeah, well, maybe not. Save your own seeds, and you know what you got.
You're right. You should probably only plant things from a reputable company that you have tracked and know a history of.
To some degree.
That seems like the responsible thing to do. But ultimately, the thing that I keep coming back to is I keep hearing this invasive species thing. And the thing that's frustrating to me about the whole invasive species thing is that you're arbitrarily deciding to favor a less suited plant to an area.
Right.
It's part of that human desire to keep things the same permanently and in perpetuity. Like the idea that, well, this is the way it's always been, so we must keep it this way forever. Which to me, I guess, is more of that whole human centric instinct. Like we hate humanity, but we have to do the things that like scared of humanity dying like requires us to do. Like it's this permanent fear that, well, something might wipe off humanity off the planet, so we have to do things to keep that from happening, which means never letting the earth change in any way.
Yeah.
An invasive species is one that grows better in a particular environment. Is the idea behind it? Like it's going to come in and it's going to take over space that other types of biodiversity is maintained. But it only does that if it's better suited to that environment. You can try and force it to happen all you want, but if it doesn't grow better in those conditions, then it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
And that in the idea being that, well, it's going to take over, and then all you're going to have is this.
Yeah.
And I guess to me, it's just more human hubris, not allowing the planet to be what the planet's going to be. Deciding that we're the arbiters of, we'll sit and we'll go and plant a ton of invasive species and our, out in gardens and, well-known invasive species.
Mm-hmm.
We'll plant, frankly, we plant things that are actually technically well-known poisons. How many nightshades do we actually plant on purpose? Things like that.
Yeah. Tasty.
Exactly. But because we choose to, we choose to, so it's fine to go and do this. Invasive species, dude, look what we've done to all of our waterways.
Yeah. Sure. It's a
and I tell you right now, if the government thought there was a good reason to do it, they'd do it in a fucking heartbeat. If they thought there was a reason to let those plants get planted. But because
they
it's
did.
you.
They have done that.
Exactly. And so it's a frustration of mine for anyone to swoop in here and try and play as if, oh, it's for your best interest. Your best interests are what we're keeping in mind. We don't want this to ruin our wildlife. We don't want it to do this and that. I mean, last I knew, doesn't China have like a lot of wildlife over there?
I don't know. I guess that they have like they got some of those big water monsters like that live over there.
What's a water monster?
I don't know. I feel like they got some big like water monster things that live over there.
Like Godzilla?
Yeah, kind of like Godzilla, but not quite. I'll find it.
Kaiju?
I don't know, man. They exist.
Dan's apparently like had a few too many drinks before today, and he's got Pacific Rim in his brain.
No, what?
He's thinking of Godzilla movies.
No, man, I'm serious.
Oh, he's waiting for Mothra to come and swoop us all up now.
Nothing wrong with Mothra.
Do you think that those plants are going to call Mothra, Ben?
No, probably not. I don't know. I have to go. I'll figure it out. I'll find out, and you put it in the show notes. You put a link to it. There's these big things that live underwater. Anyway, no, like it's not so much. I think. I don't know, man. It's a strange situation, right? Because if like right now, there's if you go ahead and you plant, trying to think of some invasive down here. It's not really widespread, but if you plant like Chinese wisteria down here, people use it as an ornamental. It's also highly invasive, and when it gets out into the wild and it's growing along the telephone lines and the ditches, like it'll climb up trees, and it gets so big, like it pulls the trees down and it kills the trees, and it just creates this gigantic mess. And there's I have no I can't think of the word. I can't get can't do anything about it, right? I have no recompense.
You're talking, Ben, and you just sound so incredibly racist. Like we only like our native kinds around here.
Well, and see, that's the thing though, right? Like if you go ahead and plant whatever you want to plant, but like if that vine starts growing on my property, can I do something about that, right? If I don't want this thing that's going to destroy all my trees, and let's say, my trees, I have a bunch of grapefruit trees, and that's my livelihood, and your wisteria gets in there and starts killing things. You know, is that okay? I should be able to do something about that.
Control burn of the neighbor's lawn. Is that
Yeah,
is that allowed?
I don't know. Probably.
But once again, that's what it does boil down to. Is it boils down to your property rights. What do you have a right to do and where?
Right.
And frankly, I think if you want to go and take the gamble and just start throwing, lots of people throw their dicks in some weird places. Ben's gonna throw some seeds in some weird places. Apparently, and grow some just strange Chinese stuff. That's your prerogative to do that. No one should have that right. Now that being said, when your neighbors don't like what you're growing and it starts invading on their property, I think they have a a genuine recourse that they can take at that point. They can prove harm done by your choice to not maintain your invasive species of plant on your property. And maybe in most cases the property owner won't care, but you run that risk of trying to plant something like that.
I mean, it goes the same way you think about farmers planting, GMO soy or GMO corn, and having that pollen come over to my yard and pollinate my stuff, and now I have to deal with that.
Well, that's not a problem other than when Monsanto owns a bunch of patents and then sues you for patent theft.
Well,
yes, you should be able to sue Monsanto for invading your crop.
At the same time, it's not just the patent theft part of it. It's the fact that maybe I don't want GMOs in my food, and now you've polluted my food. You've crossed that line, and you have damaged my crop.
And I think you should absolutely be able. You can prove harm.
Right.
Go for it. The problem is here we have a system of property rights based on fucking intellectual property, which is not property. It's a great way to maintain cronyist collusion, but definitely not property rights.
A court system that will support it. Go try to take Monsanto to court. I dare you.
Yeah, good luck. So that's the problem. The issue isn't even like the issue isn't the plant. The issue is the protections afforded for certain classes of people here. That's the issue.
Right.
Most people would probably stop trying to plant invasive species if every time they did it they got sued, or they take greater care when they did it. You'd have maybe like you want an invasive species, that's fine, but you grow it in your greenhouse and that's the only place it goes.
Yeah, it's a tricky thing, right? Because I mean, you look at up there, you guys have how is it called? Roman honeysuckle, maybe? They're like those bushes, kind of a low growing shrub, and they have the red berries in the, I want to say summer, and you can't do anything with it. The berries are toxic, and the birds just crap them out everywhere, which makes it a little trickier to prove that, this is your bush or where it came from. Things to think about, for me anyway.
No, I mean, I get where you're coming from that. I guess my point is there's lots of things that you can decide as a community what you're going to do about it. The idea that there are just all these mandates coming from down on high. Oh wait, but that's right. We just established over the past 6 months that people will, do whatever mandate comes down from on high, regardless of how insane it is.
Most of them will.
Or how intrusive on your life it is.
Yeah. We got started getting the local grocery stores telling us we have to wear a mask to go in now. So
I'm surprised it's taken this long, Ben.
Yeah, I don't know. I started going to the ghetto food mart down the corner, and they don't make me wear a mask, so
yet.
I'm okay. I doubt they will. I think in most of the places down
they're
here
always the holdouts. They held out up here too, but eventually even those places gave in because eventually the fines get to be too much.
We're not. Georgia's different. Like we're not fining. They're not doing that
Yet.
Yeah. Well, and Kemp, the governor said that like the counties can't pass jurisdiction like mandates or whatever that like law mask laws. And so there's that, and most of the places down here that do have mask laws are like your Walmart, your Home Depot, your Kroger, the places that are
Yeah, they don't change.
And headquarters is somewhere else. And like I've been in, how many times have I gone into Home Depot and I haven't had a mask and they have a sign up, and whatever, and nobody really cares. Nobody says anything to anybody about it because nobody really cares. It's crazy. It's a crazy world, man. I can't wait till it's all over, right? Because we're gonna go straight back to normal and everybody's gonna be happy. Yay.
I mean, I guess.
No,
I don't know. I don't know what you were smoking today, but I'll take some of that.
It's just
there's about a 0% chance of that happening.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. And nobody, because nobody said this in the very beginning, right? That we're gonna get it all back.
I mean, dude, it's been slow. It's like watching slow motion. Like everyone losing their minds. Like I'm just here going, what is happening? How is this happening? Why are people listening to this? Why are people buying this? Like the numbers don't make any of this make any sense.
Yeah.
Like I'm theoretically looking at all the numbers that everyone else does, and I just don't see it.
Yeah. Yep. No, it's because it's not there.
Look, I'm just saying Resident Evil made me think a pandemic was going to look a lot different than this.
It's because it is. A real pandemic would. Unless they're just slow playing it, and then it's just waiting for it to get in everybody, and then they're going to flip the 5G on, and we're all just going to like fry.
Well, I've heard some people speculate that this is actually to lull us into a false sense of security. For when the real thing does happen, they've taught us all the worst ways to deal with it, and so that we'll actually wipe out a significant number of people.
Sounds like fun.
Let's hope they're wrong. Let's hope that whatever evil cabal has brought this hell upon us is perhaps not that vindictive.
Get my bunker set up.
Yeah, we're just adding to the stockpile right now, building up our food stores.
You should build it up with the Chinese giant salamander.
Is that what you're talking about?
That's what you should build. Yes, that is what I'm talking about.
Dude, you just want to put a fucking saddle on that thing and ride it, don't you?
I do.
It's like, are you looking at like the 250-pound one?
I don't know. Yeah, up to 110 pounds in weight, 6 feet in length.
I've seen some really big ones. They're fun.
Yeah,
I love salamanders in general, though.
I'd be afraid of it, man.
Like,
wiggle a finger the wrong way and it's like gone. Yeah.
Oh no, they don't. I don't think they have any teeth or anything like that.
It doesn't matter if it got teeth, man. Just suck your arm and gone.
Well, I suppose there's a possibility. No, man. From what I saw, that thing is very, very skittish. I mean, dude, don't you remember hunting salamanders when you were a kid?
Yeah, but they're like,
salamanders
minuscule.
And mud puppies.
Yeah, but they're tiny. They wouldn't try to bite
like
me.
6 inches, 8 inches tops.
Yeah.
That was the most fun, though.
It was.
Just a day in the creek. You're over there with just a fucking mason jar and stuffing some critters in there. Crayfish and salamanders.
Yeah.
Occasionally you'd find a mud puppy. They usually are harder to come by because they generally come out at night.
Yeah, we would find them once in a while, but not really. I remember set up like fish traps, and we'd put our own like aquarium together like over the summer with all like the stuff from the creek, and of course you couldn't keep it through the winter because it was just
their life cycle is different.
Yeah. So but it was fun, man. That was what it was. Probably illegal, and you get fined for that now. But
oh sure.
Taking wild creatures and putting them in a zoo. It's no good.
Did you like did you ever eat crayfish at all?
Oh, I've tried. I don't mind it. It's just a lot of work.
It seems
and
like a
it's just
lot of
not
work
worth
for a
it.
little reward.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people like sunfish, and I don't know, man, it's a lot of work for like starburst of meat, you know.
That's a bluegill, right?
Uh, what did I say?
What you said, sunfish.
All right, yeah, I call them sunfish. They call them brim down here, but like your bluegill, your
Yeah, there's a million different
the
things you call them.
the panfish type stuff.
Yeah, I don't know, I've never eaten one. I remember I caught a bunch of them once when I was a
Yeah, they're
kid.
super easy to catch, but man, they're bony and there ain't no meat on them. You got to fillet them, and it's just like, nope.
Why the hell did I waste my time on this?
Yes, go catch a bigger fish.
I'll be honest. I gave up fishing many years ago. It was way too boring. That's why I like hunting the crayfish and stuff like that, because there's like some activity to it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know you're a man who likes his
Fishing
quiet.
fishing can be a lot of fun. A lot of
It's
fun.
like you get to do the same reason you like your hunting.
Yeah, it's quiet
Grab
lonely.
grab some alcohol, go sit quietly in a place, and maybe something happens, maybe it doesn't.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, we got so many fishing stories. Oh, so much fun. So much fun as a kid. But
The one thing upstate New York was good for, man. It's
yeah.
it was such an idyllic place to raise children. I think when we were younger, I couldn't tell you what it's like now. I imagine it's awful, based solely on like the school systems. But
It's tough. It's tough because man, I we're constantly bouncing that idea. Could we go back? Could we go back? You have help from family because like, they're close enough where you can go visit, or grandkids go visit for a little bit, and kids get a break. But every time it always goes back to like, do I want to move back to, you know, the Democratic People's Republic of New York? And
I mean,
I
dude, the thing
personally
is,
don't, you know.
the thing is like where I was in upstate New York, you weren't gonna feel the state too much, anyways, because I mean they're so fucking far away. We're so deep in
Yeah.
the country, and I mean
But
it's not like everything else isn't going that way now, anyways.
I know. I know.
So it's almost like everything that's gonna be a statist hellhole. Anyways, you might as well be in the best looking statist hellhole out there.
Yeah, I know. And there's that. There's that. But I think about all the things that I would have to get rid of in order to move up there sometimes. Like, I don't know if I want to get rid of that. Maybe I just don't disclose
But
it.
if you
Lose
were
lose
if you were
things.
if you were making all your raised beds out of luggage,
Yes.
take the dirt with you.
Yes. 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 Yeah. We got to talk about that sometime.
I mean, it's the stupidest idea I think I've ever had, but it's fun.
Hey, it works. It works, right?
That's kind of the idea. If I can keep my dirt and take it with me when we leave, that's the key.
Yeah.
It's gonna be all totes and luggage. What's sad is that like our actual garden, it is growing pretty good right now. Like it's kicking into high gear. Liz has been pulling cucumbers and beans out of it for weeks now.
Nice.
That's all. What do you call it? Lasagna garden in the backyard.
Right.
So, although technically, I mean, depending on how fucked up that cardboard is, we get to just pull all that up and throw in a bin too.
Yeah, I guess you could. I imagine it gets broken down pretty quick. We tried it once and it kind of worked, kind of didn't work. I want to try it again. I think we're going to try to
I
do
mean,
a
dude, it
bunch
worked
of raised
awesome for
beds.
us. Like,
Yeah.
I think you have to make sure you do it the right way.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Like, Liz was very meticulous about how she did it, and I mean, in a lot of ways, the cardboard sat out there for a long time before we ever put anything on it too. So it was already kind of pre-broken down.
That's the trick, man. I really got to stake it down. I had a turkey tractor / coop type thing that I built. I made it out of hog panel. I had 3 hog panels. It's like 36 inches high, about 15 feet long. And
Yeah,
there's 3
you
of
just
them.
get too much wind where you are.
The whole thing, dude. The whole thing weighed like 200 pounds, and I had the wind flipped it over. I'm like amazed.
Landed on the goats and.
No, everybody was okay, thank God. But man, it's amazing how strong the wind can be, like blowing through and just whipping. But
Yeah. But I think we've moved on past our desire to talk about China at this point, huh?
I don't know. I could raise some giant salamanders. That would be cool.
Are we racing them?
No, raise them for like I don't know, novelty.
Okay. I mean, you're probably not allowed to. I would almost guarantee it.
Probably, I'd probably get fined.
They're
They
probably
might.
considered invasive species, and
Yes,
I know
they bring the couve with them. You know.
they're definitely a endangered species or something like that, right?
I think they're red. They're red on Wikipedia, whatever that means. Some concern, not least. I don't know.
So,
I don't know.
anyways, folks, this has been episode number 57 of Free Markets Green Earth. I don't feel like editing past this point, so we're just going to call it. Check us out at freemarketsgreenearth.com. You can see our whole host of episodes. We've talked about a lot of fun stuff. I have a lot of big things planned coming up into the second half of this year that we're working on. I want to do some growth. If you can, please go out, tell a friend, tell your mom, tell people you don't even know. Just say, hey guys, I got the real deal, this skinny on the environment by some guys that ain't too boring. The key is I don't think we're boring.
Go to iTunes. Just go to iTunes, leave a review.
Yeah, I like reviews. Reviews are fun. Has anybody ever actually reviewed this show? I've never checked.
I don't know. I can't figure out how to check. It took me like 20 minutes to figure out how to write a review for like Alyssa Milano's podcast.
How did you review her podcast?
I don't recall.
How much drinking
I think I
had you done
said
before it?
I think I said I would rather be locked in a closet with 5 other people eating potato chips or something like that.
I probably would have said I would rather be raped by Joe Biden.
That too.
That would make sense.
Who knows what happens in that closet with 5 people? Could have been Joe. Joe and Stacey Abrams and Kamala.
What are you talking about? Joe does it in public. He doesn't even bother with the closet. He knows no one. Like where Trump said, I could kill someone in Times Square and know they'd still make me president. Joe Biden actually has raped people in public, and they're still going to make him president.
It's true. We'll see how it turns out. It'll be an interesting election, that is for sure.
And we'll see how much of this ends up in the actual episode. I don't know. I think it'll get us kicked off YouTube. So, all right, folks, y'all have a good one.
See ya. Getting booted off YouTube, huh?